everybody that's filtering in. We were just talking about our weekends. I am going to the Texas-Oklahoma football game in Dallas. So I went to Texas. We're having a great year in football. Hopefully it continues this weekend. I'll be going with one of my best friends who is a Sooner. So it's always a fun little rivalry we have. So I'm excited. What about y'all, Beverly?
I'm going up north Wisconsin to Jeep off-roading, so really
Cool.
excited to do that. It's going to be gorgeous. We're going to see fall colors, but also going to get my Jeep out and get some off-roading plans. So we spent a little time in Colorado for about a week up in the mountains and fell in love with it. We're able to take our Jeep all the way up, so excited for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this might be a dumb question because you say Jeep off-roading, but are
Mhm.
there actual like paths you take or
There are,
okay.
and depending on your skill set, you can do everything from just waterfall tours and back roads, all the way up to climbing walls. I'm not quite
Cool.
there yet. I'm in the mid level, but it's definitely not for the faint of heart. There's some times in Colorado that were a little anxiety inducing, but it was a lot
Yeah.
of fun. It's not, smooth rides. It's a bumpy road. So,
I don't think I would have I like my anxiety levels would be too high for that.
oh yeah, I have friends that say that, but we have a great time. So, and we get to meet people that we've never met before. So that's also
Yeah,
really fun. Get to meet so many people that, it's just a community. So, yeah.
that's awesome.
I've seen some of the videos of them climbing the hills with the Jeeps, man. You
Yeah, I
just got
don't,
to commit, right? You just got to gas it.
you do. There's a skill to it. I don't do anything that is entirely vertical. I do, other things, but the entire vertical is my Jeep is an older Jeep, so it's not quite skilled for that yet. But yeah, how
Ugh.
about you, Ryan?
Is the one other thing I was going to ask too is the duck trend a thing in Colorado where they put the ducks on the Jeeps? It's a
Uh,
big thing in Florida.
it is a big thing for me. It's a big thing. Jeep Wave, the Jeep
Okay.
ducks. But some people really don't like that. I don't know. They get really upset about you touching their Jeep, but
Yeah.
those are kind of a subset of people. But everybody else just loves the excitement and enthusiasm of celebrating your Jeep. So yeah, I have a few
Wait, what is it? Explain to me.
rubber ducks
Yeah.
that you get ducked, and people will randomly put ducks on Jeeps that they think it's cool, anything like that. And so you just if you happen to go to your Jeep and there happens to be a rubber duck set on your Jeep, you've been ducked.
Gotcha. That's cool. Okay. Fun. Okay, Ryan, real quick, what were you doing this weekend and then we'll get started here.
Yeah, just going over to Orlando for a little birthday celebration. Universal's not on the agenda yet, but they are season pass holders, so
So
you never know.
see where the weekend takes you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know it's only the middle of the week, but always good to look forward to things. But for now, we are glad everyone here is joining us for 5 things you didn't know you could do with your PandaDoc Salesforce integration. Hopefully, some things you didn't know you can do, and you will learn a thing or two today. We are joined today with Ryan Coleman from PandaDoc and Beverly Tyree from Setgo Partners. And before we jump into the subject, Ryan, can you introduce yourself? And for those that are joining that may not be as familiar with PandaDoc yet, give us a 2-3 line PandaDoc elevator pitch.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. My name is Ryan Coleman. I'm a solutions engineer here at PandaDoc. Been here almost 2 years. And for those of you that don't know, PandaDoc is a platform for document generation, e-sign. We specialize in all types of document workflows like quotes, proposals, etc. I'm very excited to be joined here by Beverly and Molly to talk about the Salesforce integration, one of our most popular partners and integrations as well. And for my day-to-day job, I help existing and prospective customers streamline their document generation needs with PandaDoc. And so that'll involve integrations like Salesforce, that'll involve API, and just in general, just solving the business pains with technical workflows from PandaDoc.
Cool. Well, thank you. I know we have a lot to learn from you. And Beverly, I know you have some information to share with us before we jump into your story more or less. Tell us who you are, who SetGo Partners is, and what y'all do.
Absolutely. Thank you, Molly. My name is Beverly Tyree. I am the Director of Enablement and Senior Salesforce Consultant at SetGo Partners. My role and responsibility is twofold. I'm responsible for training and enabling our new and existing team members, as well as working with clients to help with best practices and implementation of their technologies, particularly around Salesforce. SetGo Partners is a certified Salesforce partner, and we have a really awesome team. We're focused on Salesforce evolution. And with that, we've employed Salesforce AEs, former Salesforce AEs, and technical architects, as well as a lot of other expertise within the industries. We serve a wide variety of industries, and we do Salesforce implementations as well as custom development, and then also enhancing existing Salesforce environments. We're collaborators, we are technical partners, and we are innovators. So we really love that, and we love to bring that to you. And I'm also thrilled to be here. Thank you, Ryan. I'm thrilled to be with Ryan and Molly and look forward to this.
Awesome. Thank you, Beverly. Okay, have a couple questions for you, Beverly. Before I ask those, Cindy, yes, this is being recorded. You'll be able to watch it after. And as we're kind of starting off here, if y'all can put in the chat if you currently use PandaDoc, Salesforce, and or the integration. We'd love to know kind of where people are coming from, what your knowledge base is. Don't feel like you have to give us, too much, but if you're up to it, give us a little info on where you think your skill level is. So while people are putting that info in the chat, Beverly, I will jump to you. You work a lot with customer workflows, it sounds like, very extensively. What are some of the biggest gaps that y'all see in customer workflows currently?
Absolutely. So every customer that we engage with is very different and has their own set of requirements. However, there's some key elements that we really see, and it's very common. The first one is a lack of unified customer lifecycle. And what I mean by that is information is spread across different systems. Different departments are using those different systems, and there's a real lack of being able to see the life cycle of a customer, being able to see where they are and how we're engaging with them. Mm-hmm. The other one is efficiency. So being able to, a lot of manual processes, whether it's copy and paste into documents, whether it's emailing to check on statuses, all of those things. The manual processes take over where things that could be automated. Communication is key. We find that communication breakdown often affects internally and externally. So our internal, finding out and having to check with different departments on different things, email chains getting lost, and then the external customers really suffering from that. The last one that we see that out of the four is the ultimate is personalized customization and personalized communication with our customers. And that often falls short because of all of the others that take place. So when we have those in place, that really is the biggest gap. And we try to achieve that personalization, but with all of the others, it really affects things in a negative way and makes it longer to get to.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay, you listed a few key benefits there: communication, efficiency, interaction, and that holistic view, I guess, which I really appreciate. I think sometimes people, they don't think about that whole workflow when they come to fix one specific issue, but if they do, that can be a game changer for them. So on top of those benefits, we want to talk about Salesforce specifically today. What is it about the Salesforce integration with PandaDoc that you see as the biggest benefit to customers?
Well, I highlighted those items because those are really what we work to solve, and we love the integration with PandaDoc and Salesforce in that it works cohesively to provide that first of all that unified view of the customer within Salesforce. That integration with PandaDoc speaks and affects those records. So PandaDoc, the activities within PandaDoc can directly feed back to the Salesforce record, updating fields, providing communication value. seeing where things are and being able to see that all in one location. So we use Salesforce as the source of truth, being able to see that, and then being able to make sure that everybody is very cohesive.
Mhm.
In addition to that, it resolves a lot of the manual processes. We take information from Salesforce, feed it directly into PandaDoc. I know Ryan is going to demonstrate some of that for you. And what it's great to see that we're not copying and pasting information. In addition to that, we're personalizing that information. Finally, what happens that we really appreciate is that we can leverage the benefits of both platforms that do things well. So where PandaDoc provides, personalized, customized, and really professional documents in that process, we can leverage Salesforce as well. We leverage security. We leverage custom fields. We leverage different processes, maybe approval processes, and a lot of other workflows that really add to efficiency in that communication.
Yeah, you hit on a lot of features there that Ryan will be demoing, and I know there's already a lot of questions coming in the chat. People are excited to see this in action. Before we do that, I know there's some people here that have PandaDoc and or Salesforce or both and aren't integrated yet. So to maybe help give that crew a little bit of buy-in, Beverly, can you tell us more about a real life example of how you've seen the integration transform businesses?
That's a great question. I love that one because we love to transform businesses. We had a client, a very specific client that was in the manufacturing space, and we have used PandaDoc and Salesforce across different industries. But this particular one, we were invited in to resolve the problem because they were very frustrated with their systems. They were very frustrated with their customer interaction, and their employees were really, for lack of a better term, really not happy. They had 3 different departments that were working with the ultimate goal of customer success. Finance was responsible for creditworthiness. Account management was responsible for obtaining MSAs and NDA agreements.
Mm-hmm.
And then sales was responsible for processing quotes. However, each one of these departments had different ways of doing the documents.
What a mess.
It was a mess. They managed them in Excel. They managed them in Google Sheets. They lost track of the documents. They didn't know where those were stored. And then finally, what happened was the customer was kind of ponged around from one department to another to actually follow up with the documents. They didn't know which documents they were supposed to sign. And they ultimately were not able to order items. So the idea was that the sales department was not able to process orders unless all of those items were in place. In poor words, it was a mess. And so what we did was we integrated PandaDoc with Salesforce. We actually worked with them to create branded, personalized documents. All the documents were in one location, one tool. And then we customized Salesforce to actually bring back the statuses so that all of the team, finance, account management, and sales, knew the status of each of these documents. And there was an approval process so that the ordering of products could move forward rather quickly. The customers really liked it because they knew where they were coming from. They only had to talk to one team member because that team member was informed. And there was actually follow-up so that things did not fall through the cracks. So ultimately, they were very happy. It really removed a lot of inefficiencies and actually removed a lot of cost and prevented loss of customer.
Awesome. Thank you for that. You use a lot of words in there that people think, oh, inefficient, removing inefficiencies, and it was messy, and just these great words that people could think, oh, just adding in their fluff, but it's real. It's true. Like this can be a game changer for people. So without further ado, let's see this in action. Ryan, I'll invite you over to start sharing. I know you had, as the title portrays, we had 5 different items that you were going to focus on today. We'll get to, there's some great still questions coming in the chat, so we'll get to those, but I'll let you start with your area.
Yep. Yeah. Sounds good. And thanks so much for that, Beverly. Definitely good at highlighting the value props for the Salesforce integration. And for the demo today, it was great to see in the chat a bunch of people that are already using the Salesforce PandaDoc integration. For the demo today, I wanted to walk through it and show like 5 of our slightly maybe lesser known features in the integration. And so I'll share my screen here without further ado. Can everyone see this okay?
I hope so. I
Or
think
Molly, you want to confirm? Yeah.
Yeah. Looks good.
Awesome. And so to start with this demo of 5 of the lesser known Salesforce features, let's take the perspective of an eager rep that's looking to send out a proposal close to end of quarter and get signature off on that. And so let's say as an admin, I want to empower them to be able to quickly generate the proposal. The first feature I'm going to show is how I know some of you mentioned opportunity products. You may already know that we can pull opportunity products into a quote or proposal document. But what might be lesser known, also actually customize the display of these products by filtering them into certain tables or table sections. And so let's say in this case, I would need to, as an admin, set up the template to display my products in one table and my service packages in another. The way I would do that, I'll open up this PandaDoc template here to set this up. And using the drag and drop editor, I can drag and drop and I place these 2 pricing tables here. I have my top one for products and my bottom one for service packages. And the way I'm filtering these opportunity products is going to be in the merge rules of this table here. So if I go to setup data merge, I'm looking at the SKU field coming from the product in Salesforce. And I'm creating rules here that will choose which products to filter into this table. So in this case, I'm looking at the SKU field and filtering by these prefixes that indicate a service package rather than the first table, which is filtering based on the products. And so let's switch back over to as a sales rep looking to quickly generate this proposal end of quarter. I need to create this document from Salesforce. So if I go to my opportunity here in Salesforce, I've already got my products configured. Let's open those up real quick. I can see I'm just using like the standard Salesforce sandbox products, which are going to be some generators and then an installation package and a service level agreement. Now, if I, as the end user, want to go and generate a PandaDoc document from this Salesforce record, passing in all of my details fields and opportunity products, I would go to the PandaDoc Lightning component, click New Document. And then at this screen here, I'm going to select that template that my admin already thankfully set up for me that takes a lot of the work out of that. I'll go to template here. I've already automatically passed in the recipients for this proposal from the contacts associated to that opportunity. We'll click the second green button there, and that generates the document from that PandaDoc template in the draft state. This is the state where the sales rep has the opportunity to review the document generated before actually sending it off for e-signature. So if I scroll down here, I can see the fields were mapped over from the Salesforce opportunity. If I scroll down to that pricing table section here, I can see that the generators were filtered in this product sections, and then my services were filtered down onto the second table. And so that shows that's our first feature, how you can filter products into separate tables or also separate table sections as well. You want to display the products in the same table, but separate sections. So that shows our first feature. The second lesser known feature that I want to highlight here is, let's say, so we can actually write back, if you change the products in the proposal document, we can sync those back to the products on the opportunity so that what you're selling isn't going to be out of sync with what's in Salesforce. And so let's say as a sales rep, I'll walk through that real quick. As a sales rep, I want to change the quantity for this particular generator to 6. I'll update that here. And then now I'm going to send this out to my client. We'll go send via email. And another feature I like to highlight here too is that for whatever reason, your sales rep or whoever was responsible for it didn't fill out all the data in Salesforce, we'll catch that in the document and we'll say, hey, you're missing XYZ from from Salesforce. So I'll quickly do a city. And then send that out for signature. And that's it for the document generation process. Now I updated those products in the proposal. And so if I come back here and open up the products on the opportunity, I can see that the quantity of that generator that I updated changed, also reflected back in the opportunity using that trigger to reflect the quantity. It changed from 4 to 6. So that way the products stay in sync in the proposal and Salesforce record. And so that's showing our second feature of how we can sync back those products. The third feature I would like to highlight that is a little lesser known is that we work very closely with Salesforce CPQ. So we work to supercharge the quotes generated from Salesforce by being able to make an on-brand proposal. That same process that you just saw with the document generation using the opportunity products can also be driven from Salesforce CPQ using the quote record. We can pull in the fields on the quote. We'll have the PandaDoc living on the quote record. And from here, we can also pull in these quote line items, just like we did with the opportunity product. It would be the same document workflow. And we actually see two primary Salesforce CPQ workflows. We either see that where they're generating unique quotes for the same customer, or we also see where they're taking a quote and syncing it back to those opportunity products. In that latter flow, it would be the same flow that we saw where we pulled over the opportunity products that create that proposal there. And so that's our third feature, is being able to supercharge your Salesforce CPQ with creating on-brand quotes using PandaDoc document generation there. The fourth feature I would also like to highlight here is that we really do try to fit your Salesforce environment and workflow as much as possible. We actually have a feature here to say, for example, if you have, we can pull up data from related objects in Salesforce if they have a lookup relationship to that record. So for example, here I have this default relationship, a lookup from the opportunity to this account here. So when I go to the PandaDoc tab here and I click the show tokens, I can see what data I'm pulling over. I can pull over data from that account, even though I'm working off the opportunity. And so that's our fourth feature, is that you can pull from related objects if there's a lookup relationship to that object. And we actually go up to 3 relationships deep for that lookup relationship. And so our goal with that is just to really fit how your Salesforce environment is structured and streamline that workflow so you don't have to work off of separate objects. Our fifth feature here is, let me find an example here. So let's say as that eager sales rep, I send out that proposal. I'm very eager to get it signed back. Once it gets signed and completed, our fifth feature is we can actually save that completed PDF copy of the document back to the record that it was created from. And so the benefit of that, if I go down to the notes and attachments, we'll save that completed PDF here. Let's open that up. And here's the completed PDF. It's also got this legally binding e-signature certificate here at the bottom. This is because the document has been already completed. And so the benefit of this feature is that we'll save that PDF back to the Salesforce record so anyone can access it from within Salesforce without needing to actually access PandaDoc.
Awesome. Thank you, Ryan. Hopefully, I know there's a lot of people here that hadn't integrated yet. Hopefully you saw something that convinces you it's time to do it. And if you already are, hopefully you saw something new. We do have a lot of questions in the chat. So Ryan, you might need to share your screen again. I'm going to scroll through and do my best to not miss some questions here. I think you covered some of them. Flow back to Salesforce from PandaDoc. We covered that one. But Rob, let us know if there's anything more you're wanting us to cover there. Let's see. Would like to see expiring a document when an opportunity is closed, lost. Is that something y'all? Yeah.
That's a good feature request. Right now we have it where we can write Right now we have it where we can tie the document stage to the opportunity stage. So that document status ties back to the opportunity stage. And when the document transitions through its life cycle, we can update the opportunity stage, but we don't currently have the vice versa of that, right? Like controlling the document from the opportunity stage. I can see that where that would be another additional useful automation.
Cool. Let's see. Would like the integration to work with the opportunity product.
Yeah, and so we do pull in the opportunity product. I think that question was probably asked before the demo, unless there's any additional questions on it. But yeah, we can absolutely pull from, we can have PandaDoc live on the opportunity product, but the main use case we see is living on the opportunity and pulling in the opportunity products into a pricing table.
Cool, thank you. I see someone asked about different date formats, and I believe, look at y'all, somebody already answered it for them. Thank you, Leanne, for finding that release there. And let's see. Okay. Cindy asks, once I've created a document and used the generate links action, does that automatically send the link to the recipients assigned to the document?
Good question. The purpose of that one is not to send the link yet to the recipient. If you want to send it automatically to the recipient, you'll choose that send via email option. The purpose of the generate link is for you to be able to have access to that link so you can share it in some other way. For example, your own email, if you want to fire off a custom email on your own service, or if you want to text it to them, Slack it to them. That's the purpose of that generate link function.
Cool. Can the customer change the quantity and then approve the proposal?
They can, yeah. We can enable, it's called recipient editing. You can open up the product to be editable by the recipient, in which case they can select which quantity they want. And in that flow there, the flow we showed where the opportunity products would update to reflect the products in the proposal, that functionality there will also work if the recipient updates the quantity in the pricing table too.
Thank you. When is the feature coming for two-way on opportunity fields? Was that?
Yeah, I can take that one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I would need to check in for product for that, for like an out-of-the-box mapping to specific fields. I assume in this case they want to take a field from PandaDoc and map that back to a field in the opportunity. Right now, we do write back to a custom object in Salesforce called PandaDoc documents, but it does require some like an Apex trigger to be able to map that to a specified field in the opportunity. But with that said, we are exploring some type of out-of-the-box configuration for being able to map fields back.
Cool. This one might have been answered, but how do you pull the signed doc back into Salesforce? Is it associated with the op contact or account? All good on that one?
I think so. Yeah. You can save the PDF back and it will save back to the record it's created from. Hopefully that helps clarify. So you could absolutely, if the document's generated from the contact, it'll save back to the contact.
Cool. Kimberly said, we integrated last year. Have there been updates? I don't see some of the views you reviewed. There have probably been updates. I would say reach out to your CSM if you don't see something, but Ryan or Beverly, do y'all know any more there?
I'm sorry, I missed that one, Molly.
Oh, they integrated last year, but they don't see some of the views that you were going through. So maybe there were some updates or a refresh they need to go through.
Yep. Yeah, I would recommend checking with the CSM in that case.
Cool. Thank you. Let's see. We definitely have some more coming through. Let me read. Can the pricing table products export to look like Excel and export to Excel?
So we do support copy paste from Excel into the pricing table that you can use as long as the column and row count is the same. It's not a common flow usually with Salesforce. Usually we'll see that data living within Salesforce products and pulled over or within the PandaDoc catalog. But we do have a copy paste feature from Excel into a table.
Awesome. Hopefully that solves for that question. Is there any way to enforce updates to be made in the opportunity to prevent manually editing the doc?
So can you repeat that one more time,
Yeah,
Molly? I was looking for it in the chat too.
you're good. Is there any way to enforce updates to be made in the opportunity to prevent manually editing the doc?
We do absolutely have the template editor, that admin view. They can restrict content at that level, at the template level, to be able to prevent sales reps from editing sections of that document that they don't want to be edited within the document.
Cool. And I think we're kind of looping back to some questions, some second tier questions for other questions. So talking about quantity is one of the things folks can be allowed to make changes on. What about term, like years or multiplier?
We don't allow the recipient to edit custom
Mhm.
columns like terms in that case. Right now, they're limited to being able to edit the quantity and also being able to select the optional products, whether or not they want.
Yeah. Would be interested to auto apply a discount level based on a term, 1 year versus 2 years, 3 years, to go along with an ability for the recipient to change the multiplier. So I guess more of a feature request.
Yeah, I would probably need to dig a little more deeper into that one to see if we have anything out of the box currently for that.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's see, keep them coming. There's some good questions here.
Those are good.
Okay. Is there any information on how PandaDoc Salesforce integration could specifically benefit nonprofits? Beverly, is this something you've seen maybe?
It is. We've actually integrated with for nonprofits and sponsorship documents, donation documents, volunteer documents. We've actually done that quite a bit, and so that can really benefit when you're working with either grant applications or different sponsorship applications. And so we did that for a nonprofit in Chicago, and they really loved it, and they loved the professionalism. They were actually able to put in videos that demonstrated their mission and vision, as well as other things. So they really were able to do that, and that fed directly into their nonprofit, the Salesforce nonprofit. And also they also use they use Sales Cloud. So we were able to feed that back, and it really streamlined their processes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. I think we have one more. Someone saying hello. Hello back at you. We are just about at the 30-minute mark. So if there's any other questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. But if not, we will wrap it up. Ryan, thank you for sharing with us today. Some great knowledge in there. And Beverly, thank you. We love partnering with Secco. And if anybody wants to learn more about their offerings, we have the QR code up on the screen right there. They can help you do some wonderful things. Let's see real quick. Let me check the chat. Okay, let's see. We got one more question. I've noticed when I create a doc using more than one template, the design goes away and it just does some really weird stuff. I'd love to see a demo of how to use multiple templates for one doc. Ryan, is that something you're prepared to show real quick?
It would take a little bit to, I do see what they're asking about, so having the template design, the design at the template level, and then incorporating multiple templates with different designs.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be able to show that on the fly, but yeah, definitely would recommend reaching out to our team for that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And Cindy, I'll make sure you get some more information there. To look back at this webinar, it will be active on LinkedIn, so you can always come back to this link. We will also be posting it on the PandaDoc side at a later date, so you can access it there. And if you ever need another way to see it, just reach out to us, send us a message on LinkedIn. We can help you find it if you're not finding it. But that is all we have for today. I hope y'all learned something new. And there was at least one feature that sparked you wanting to, learn more, fix your workflow, add something to it, or get a little more creative. So thank y'all for your time, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Really great questions. Thanks, Beverly. Thanks, Molly.